Hello, loves. It is Thursday, March 13th. It is noon in United States, America, PM East, and this is a show called What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code What Chaos. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, run your game. My name is DJ Bean. I sit beside Pete Blackburn, and across the room is Sean DePaz. Hello, Pete.
Hello, David. Is this like our NPR episode?
Oh, no. My voice cracked as I was doing the first thing, and it just like took me into this weird headspace. Normally, I like to come in with aggression. I like to be deliberate about what I'm saying, but
Be honest.
no, fuck people who talk that way on podcasts.
You did a pretty good job. Pretty good job just riding with the... I did hear the crack, but...
It was an adjustment, and...
It is the Players' Championship, so it's very golf-like.
What's
That's
very
true.
interesting about the organization that Tom has in New Jersey is, well, fuck podcasts like that.
Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's my baby sister's birthday, so happy birthday to her.
Wow, it's two birthdays in the
twins?
family today.
Yeah?
Twins, yeah, fraternal, 5 years apart.
There you go. I do
Otherwise,
see,
nothing's happening.
I see you wearing your Buffalo Sabres sweatshirt today. Not ashamed?
Buddy, if I was ashamed of the Buffalo Sabres, I would have burnt all of my clothes like a decade ago.
There's the Sabres are fun this week. We were texting during the game last night.
I didn't enjoy last night. I'll just get
It
that
was
out.
that last night was fun for a little bit, and then
Fair.
got really out of hand.
I wanted it to be an exciting game, and I wanted the Red Wings to get the points.
I wanted neither. Well, I guess I did want it to be exciting. Did not want the Red Wings to get the points. I tweeted it out last night. I've realized that I need the Senators and the Red Wings to somehow. shit the
Here's a
bed
question, Sean. Would you rather the Sabres get the higher pick, or honestly, would you like a little run these last 15 games or whatever it is?
here. I don't need a run.
You don't need a run?
I don't need a run.
Sabres could benefit. Actually, it could fuck them over because then they end up getting a worse player, obviously. But this is a team, we keep saying with the Sabres, like, they don't need another draft pick.
Yeah.
They don't need another young guy. I think that
But
they
the higher the pick is, the more like value it holds as an asset.
If they can get a guy who's going to be in the NHL either at the start of next year or at the end of next year type of thing, fine. But if the pick, regardless of where it ends up, is going to end up being a guy that spends a couple years in the AHL or a couple years of juniors, whatever, no need for that right now.
This is always the question when your team sucks, is because like people have asked me this as Bruins fans recently too. It's like, well, do you even want them to go on the run because like they're in a position to maximize their lottery chances after the trade deadline? And it depends like where you are, I guess. Like for the Bruins, we haven't enjoyed hockey all year long.
Yeah.
Like if we can end the season with like some positive vibes, something to take into next year, especially with a weak draft class, like just give me some of those wins, please.
I was gonna
Let me
say,
enjoy my experience.
Everything in the Bruins situation suggests that you should win games right now. You don't draft well. You're not bad enough to get like a top 5 pick, and you're like still don't think you're going to do anything in the playoffs, but you're still very much like there's a chance that you make the playoffs. Which
You can still move up though, lottery wise.
Right, you can increase and maximize your odds in terms of getting the number of balls in your favor,
or having a trade chip.
But again, like the draft this year isn't very good.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think you guys are Bruins are not bad enough for it to be worth losing games.
That's
I don't think you
Maybe
can
I'm
even
out
win
of
it.
the loop here, but I didn't understand the Bruins as an example there.
What do you mean? I mean,
People talking to you being like the Bruins are bad. Like aside from Steve Peters, who thinks the Bruins aren't back right now?
I guess this was happening during the 2 games following the trade deadline.
It was happening a week ago.
No, it was more like right after the trade deadline. People when they started playing better, I had several people be like, just our luck. This team is going to find something,
Did you
and
say,
ruin their
are
odds.
you not? Can you not see what's in front of you? We're looking at a cup contender right now.
Also,
Henry Okiharu is
Finnish superstar.
Yeah.
Henry Okiharu. I mean, I get that it's a lottery. Anything's possible. But like I said, you guys, the Bruins are not. Nothing they're going to do is going to put them in position to even have any kind of realistic chance at a pick that you should have any interest in.
I'll say we've had a fun week of shows. I will say we had Logan Stankoven on Tuesday. That rocked. The hockey has just been good out the gate. Every night I have watched hockey has been good. And tonight, not to tip my hand, but I am ready to toss a big fat grade on tonight's slate because it is incredible.
I had I told you this earlier in the week. There's a group chat that I'm a part of, and they've started using Slate Talk. And I don't know if our fingerprints are all over that, but I'm going to take credit.
Another fucking thing I don't get credit for. This is fine.
The slate, the Thursday slate was being talked about like on Tuesday. That's when you know the slate's good.
Yeah, it is good. Why don't you tell the folks what the slate is for this show?
I would love to do that. Today on the show, Hell Part 2. It's a New Jersey Devils reference, but what's the Part 2 about?
We recently were like, Devils in a little bit of trouble? Could be.
Got to be the Jack Hughes, right?
And then, when Jack Hughes went down, and now we've got more information where we're like, oh no, the Devils are actually fucked, and they should just miss the playoffs. There's nothing to be gained there.
Can we give like the Devils a draft pick if they just hand over their playoff spot to the Columbus Blue Jackets?
100% be a thing. You get like the lowest possible lottery odds. And you could just or you can swap lottery odds. So like the Buffalo Sabres right now could be like, we'll end this shit. Here's a top 3 pick.
But famously, the lowest possible lottery odds can win. Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers, because though they did have a shitty record that year, it was, I think, the 13th or 14th pick or whatever that they got that turned into Kyrie.
Rigged.
But
that was right after LeBron left.
The NHL rules, can't you only move up like 10 spots or whatever? 11.
So
there is limitations. Technically not the worst, but yeah. I kind of like this idea of being able to trade odds or trade draft picks for playoff spots.
Or there's just like a player that you're assigned. Like if you drop out, you get Adam Larson to start the next year.
It would be so funny if like the Sabres couldn't make the playoffs because they're the Sabres, and they were just like, fuck it, we're ending the drought, we're sending our next 4 first-round picks to the New Jersey Devils for their playoff spot, and then the Sabres just get fucking waxed in the first round.
I mean, that
would be the best.
I don't know about four first-round picks, but I could see a world in which they would trade more than one to end this drought.
I mean, it would be incredible. Then we have the fuck Bill Guerin.
Yep.
As the second subject here.
I had no idea what that one was, but I like it.
FBG line.
I've been into acronyms of late. I've been doing like the Let Jeff Skinner Play Hockey, shortening that. Sean is big into like the fuck Bill Guerin stuff.
Yeah, that's the only reason I don't like this acronym is because like I want it to be
fuck Bill Guerin.
I want that the UCK on the F.
Well, it can be the fuck Bill Guerin line, but we'll have to call it the FBG line.
FBG line, fair.
Yeah. So we're gonna check in with some of the Team USA rejects who have been, quite frankly, tearing it up since they have been left off the USA roster. Then beer is a subject on today's episode because Brad Marchand is the face of a new Sam Adams beer, which is just incredible timing, incredible commercial that we'll show later. And finally, Slate big eyeballs emoji.
I am so excited for tonight's slate that honestly, Severance might have to wait a little bit.
I was just going to ask that.
I am locked into, as soon as the Oilers game ends, I'm watching Severance, but I'm going to try to watch that shit real quick because I got Sharks and Blackhawks to get to.
I mean, over the last 7 days.
That's the best tuck I think you could get. In a week where the hockey's awesome, Sharks, to be able to wind down with Sharks, Blackhawks, that's such a fucking good tuck.
That is a pretty good tuck. I was going to say, over the last 7 days, stonks on hockey way up, stonks on Severance pretty down.
Yes, but we live in a world, where are we at in society, Mike Gundy voice, where as soon as an episode ends, and I've seen some of this on Reddit, which shows that I'm part of the problem too, that I go to Severance Reddit to see what people are saying about it, but an episode ends, and within 20 minutes, someone has decided it was poorly written. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know about that shit. You don't know. It's part of this. This is a show that is famously shrouded in mystery. And they'll say, like, they haven't developed this character enough. I don't know enough about this thing. Yeah. You're not supposed to know shit.
Yeah. Well, that's
and also this was like this show started as like a writing sample, so there definitely was not a plan when they started this that it meant anything.
I also think that that's part of like the problem with. I really like TV that releases weekly because it builds the anticipation.
Yes.
But when you have an episode that doesn't really knock your socks off or is legitimately kind of just setting the table for something bigger, there's an easy path to come away from it and be like, that sucked. That didn't do anything for me.
Now, you famously texted me during the last Severance episode. I had told you, like, look, you're not going to be psyched about it. You texted me during it. You said, I don't care about none of this shit.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. By the end of it, I was like, I'm not sorry I doubted you, Severance, but you gave me something that I think is a very interesting development. Were you at least interested in that?
Not really, but I'm not like holding that against the show, I guess. I don't know if it's a me thing where I'm just like, I'm not into the Harmony Cobell storyline. Just really not.
I feel though, like, is it illegal to say that you don't like a Patricia Arquette thing? I feel like people are going to be like, but that's Mother. What's your fucking problem? No, I'm coming around on the Harmony Cobell thing, mainly because I like when she says her first name and the weird voice she does. Harmony. What you got, Sean?
No, how did he end up here?
Oh, yeah. I was like, if you're gonna be like, oh, we have hockey to talk about.
No,
It
was more just like
a boring day.
It's just like, how did you end? I kind of missed how you ended up on
really good.
Slate
Severance
Severance
night. And there we are. Okay, Sean, Mr. Boss
we have
Boy.
a show to do.
No, hey, I like the producer keeping us honest. The Devils are officially in hell, let's say, because they are not planning on, per Tom Fitzgerald on a podcast with my pal Rob Simpson, saying that they are not planning on Dougie Hamilton being back during the playoffs and Jonas Siegenthaler also out for the season and likely the playoffs. So a week ago, whenever, I think it was before the deadline, we were talking about the Devils and we were like, now that Hughes is out, what should they do? Should they be sellers? Should they just kind of stand pat? And in my mind, I was like, they got a shit ton of LTIR money. Siegenthaler's going to come back. And this development that both of those guys, Dougie Hamilton, who is still like one of the, I won't say one of the best defensemen in the NHL, but definitely one of the better defensemen in the NHL. Him being out for good, and Siegenthaler also, like, at this point, just fucking drop out, boys. I wanted you to make the playoffs because of what happened last year. I thought there was still a lot of value in getting there and saying, hey, new coach, we turned it around. Yeah, we underachieved last year, but this is a strong group. We know what we're doing. We will be back for real next year, but for now, we're still doing it. We're still making a push, and who knows, maybe you could be that Celtics team that when Kyrie went down, made a run to the Eastern Conference Final. Now, stakes are too high. There's too many teams that we like, too many teams that we want in. Devils, respectfully bow out, please.
I mean, I get what you're saying, and I sort of agree, but like, from a Devil standpoint, you obviously, like, you don't want to bow out, and if you can get and hold on to that spot with, you know, a JV roster, essentially, it's a little credit and a little head of steam heading into next year. But I understand what you're saying, that like there are so many playoff teams that we want to see get in, and like it does shift the expectation of the Devils, where even if the Devils get in now, you're like, oh, they're cooked.
I'll say Devils games are very interesting the rest of the way. I have found myself tuning in to a lot of games to see the other team, and the Devils are just right in the middle of it. They be playing those games. Tuesday, Blue Jackets Devils, very interesting game. The Devils came away with 2 points, which proves to be a lot more interesting because right now, maybe the Blue Jackets, even though they're banged up themselves, have designs on catching the Devils for that third Metropolitan spot.
They're banged up, but they have the potential of getting stronger, like, as the playoffs.
Those guys are coming back.
Right.
The Devils guys aren't. The Devils are 6 points ahead of the Blue Jackets for the third Metropolitan spots, but Blue Jackets have 2 games in hand. As I said, the Devils beat the Blue Jackets on Tuesday. Those teams play again Monday in Columbus. And if it weren't for us doing too many Columbus trips already, I'd say let's hop on a plane. Let's go see that game.
Would love to do that. You know, it feels great right now.
What?
Those 17 cents in my pocket that I cashed out on for the New Jersey Devils.
Still asshole behavior.
Did I reinvest?
Yes.
Fuck no, brother.
On something else. On something else.
Reinvest, which is
Like reallocate to a different team.
put that on Nathan McKinnon to win the Hart.
Well, I did put a bet on Nathan McKinnon to win the Hart. I wouldn't say it was directly the same 17 cents.
You should have. It should have been whatever. It should have been like 10-17 or
10-17.
20-17.
Oh, yeah.
117.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be a fun exercise, like the paperclip exercise, to see how much I can
How
turn
you can
that
go to
17
17.
cents into from here moving forward. Like from now until the end of the postseason, should see what I can turn that 17
You got
cents
to put
into.
all 17 cents on the 4-1 seeds in March Madness to win their games. Increase it to like 19 cents, and then you're on your way.
I don't know, man. I feel like I was ahead of the curve. I got that 17 cents. I bet that 17 cents, if I tried to cash out today, it would be like, no, you owe us like $4.
Not to tell you what to do with your life, but you could also put that in a high yield savings account.
I do have one of those.
I like saying
hope.
that you're ahead of the curve after you erroneously put a bet on a team that shit the. I mean, they didn't shit the bed.
I mean, all I'm saying is it could have gone lower, and I cashed out before it got any lower.
Is there any jersey of a traded player this year for which you would not trade the 17 cents? So, like, say somebody's like, hey, got you a Mikko Rantanen Hurricanes jersey.
For 17
cents, you're taking that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's a player alive I wouldn't take their jersey for 17 cents. There's
Brock Nelson
one
Islanders.
player alive that I wouldn't take.
Brock Nelson Islanders, you're taking for 17 cents?
And hold on to the 17 cents.
Terrible behavior. You gotta take the jersey.
I
You gotta
think
take the
that
jersey.
I don't think
Maybe for the set, I would
Yeah.
want.
it's got to be a player who's changed teams this season. And I'll say the less important the player, the more interesting that jersey is.
Can I interest
like if
you
there were
in
if you had a Max Jones Bruins jersey, that shit would go hard.
Can I interest you in a Nicholas Aube-Kubel Sabres jersey?
I was gonna say maybe the only one that I wouldn't take is Tony D'Angelo's KHL uniform.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking. That's where my head was at.
People wouldn't know what it was.
They'd read the name on the back.
You already have it's about the name on the front, not the
True.
back. You already have the January 6th jersey.
That's true. I do.
So the Devils also are 7 points ahead of the Canadiens for a playoff spot, but the Canadiens have one game in hand. Realistically, and this is a team that is 2-2-0 without Jack Hughes, I don't see them falling out of this. I think that they have a little too much of a cushion, even though they're just barely ahead of Columbus. Would not surprise me if they hold on to that third Metro spot, but at the very least, I think they're getting in as a wild card team. I would at this point, though, and shut up my Devils fans, I would rather them fall out, and I would rather a team like the Canadiens get in. Although with the Canadiens, and we saw last night against the Kraken, they do risk finding themselves in a situation where when the lights shine bright, they're just not there yet. They're just not ready. Our guy, Lane Hutson, had a tough overtime shift.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see teams and young players I like get embarrassed. So there is some protection from that by having the Devils get in.
I do want to talk about the Lane Hutson thing later, but yeah, no, and I also think that like the Devils are a team that does deserve to be there based off of quality of roster. And so getting playoff experience for some of the guys that are on that team, I think I would consider that a win for the bigger picture of things. The only outcome that I will not accept here is the New York Rangers taking that playoff spot from the Devils. Because number one, the Rangers have been assholes all year long.
Oh, yeah.
They do not deserve to get rewarded for that. And for my Devils fans, friends, imagine just seeing your season go up in flames with serious injuries to some of your better players, and then having like one of your most hated rivals just gank you out of the playoffs for that spot.
I will say
that would be a horrible sequence of events for Devils.
Looking
fans.
at the numbers, PD talked about this on the show yesterday. Obviously, not everything, but the New York Rangers are the only team not currently in a playoff spot that have a realistic chance of finishing the season with a positive goal differential.
Yes.
They're currently -3. Everyone that's currently in a playoff spot has a positive goal differential, but
And the Devils have a grown-up goal differential.
Plus
What
30.
are they, plus 30?
Yeah.
That's a team that should be in the playoffs, even if they're losing a number one D-man.
they're not I was going to say they're not the team that got them to plus 30 anymore, though.
I still
Unfortunately.
take them seriously, though, because of their coaching and because of their goaltending. Could we say
they still have a good roster? Like obviously they're a much different team without Jack Hughes and Dougie Hamilton and Jonas Siegenthaler, but like they still have a pretty good team.
I believe I said last week when we were initially lowercase s sucking them off that they still had win around potential. I don't know anymore, but like I
agree. The discussion is not like they're a bad team without these players. It's just that how seriously can you take them as a true contender in the Eastern Conference with all of these injuries? And I think that's where things have shifted. It's just like they're no longer being taken seriously as like a cup threat.
No real number one center. Defense still has kind of some guys on each pairing.
Yeah, they've got a good back end.
Hughes and Pesci is like a really good pairing. They get Dumoulin.
Tell you what, it's a really good opportunity for
Nemitz.
for Hughes.
Yeah, for
the
Luke
alive
Hughes?
one. Yes.
Yes, the healthy one.
Yeah, Luke Hughes. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for him. So this is like there's still things that you can take away in terms of positives for this Devils season. I'm not sucking them off yet. I just think they have exited can be taken seriously as a cup contender this year.
When it comes to food, do you know what I take away? The way that people talk across the pond, takeaway food. I don't do none of that anymore. I don't do takeout anymore. I don't do takeaway. Vince Carter voice. I'm not doing takeaway anymore.
No takeaways?
No. You know
the
why?
opposite of a selkie?
Because I'm on that. Yes. Because I'm on that Green Chef tip. You know about Green Chef?
I do.
You know Green Chef, by the way, owned by HelloFresh.
Our friends.
Yes. So we're HelloFresh head. HelloFresh is giving us Green Chef with a wider array of meals and meal plans to choose from. There's something for everyone. I love switching between the brands, and now Whatnuts are allowed to do it and able to do it with a discount as well. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for clean eating, delivering pre-portioned and prepped quality whole foods with limited processed ingredients. Green Chef sends organic, fresh produce, responsibly sourced proteins, and chef-designed recipes in every box for satisfying, nourishing, and convenient meals that make it easy to stick to a clean eating routine. Bless you, Sean. I've been watching the movies, and a couple of movies have green people.
I've been watching the movies.
There's this one guy who lives on a mountain. Everyone's like, oh, what's his deal? He's green.
That's the Grinch.
That's the Grinch.
Nice. I was going to say it's just a green beans commercial.
Good guy.
Yes.
Yeah. I often confuse commercials with
falling movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this commercial's a real cliffhanger.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of Mad Men recently. I look at commercials in a whole different light now.
Yeah. You don't know what you're watching. And then there was a movie that I thought was wicked good with a green lady.
Wizard of Oz.
Elphaba. Yeah. I did see something that was like Wicked is cool because when I watched The Wizard of Oz, I was like, damn, this is cool, but I wish I knew more about where the minor characters went to college. Wicked is so good. And if you like green Elphaba, you will love Green Chef. I eat it while I watch
Shrek.
Yes. I haven't seen Shrek 2. You could thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/chaosfree and use code chaosfree to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. Did you hear what I just said?
You say free salads?
Free salads
That's green.
for 2 months. That'll save you some green.
Salads are slept on.
No,
I
they're
agree.
Not. No, they're not. People respect salads.
I don't think they do. I think there's a lot of people that are like, I'm not eating salad. That's
Pete, you
that's
can't
like
say that
rodent food.
You've
Salads rock.
grown up with me. You can't say that that's not true. You know, there are people who are just like, salad, ugh. It's taken me years to become an actual normal salad person.
Well, I'm just saying, if you slip on salads, you don't know ball.
That's why I don't think there's a lot of people that know ball. I guess that's my point. Salads rock.
If you know ball, thrive all year with clean, easy meals from Green Chef. Go to greenchef.com/chaosfree, and use code chaosfree to get started with free salads for 2 months plus 50% off your first box.
While you're taking care of your health, maybe check out Timeline, because they sell health and longevity supplements that feature their proprietary MitoPure ingredient. MitoPure works with the cells in your body to help rejuvenate and reverse age-related decline. The benefits include increased strength, energy, and endurance. And if you're saying, Pete, what do you know about energy, endurance, and age reversing? I say, not a ton, but I do trust Timeline because they've done 15 plus years of research and they've got a whopping 30 plus US patents. How many do you have?
Doesn't feel so good now, does it?
Personally,
Doesn't feel so good when Pete flips it on you.
That's
when
right.
we didn't throw it around this morning. I don't feel like really.
I know.
You didn't throw it to me.
He went to you first.
No, that was
Pete is fucking up left and right today.
I'm in the middle of an ad read. The cells in our
Do you
bodies
feel really
are
bad?
the building blocks of life.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna get a whole lot worse.
Timeline
Pete.
is a supplement that works with those cells to give you more energy, feel stronger during workouts, and preserve health and mobility as you start to age.
Sean's
So,
got a real trump card.
Yeah.
Go on.
You want me to go? No, finish your ad read.
Sean, you're acting like a grumpy old man right now, so I think that you need some MitoPure to reverse.
This is gonna rock. This is gonna rock so hard.
MitoPure recharges your cell and helps your body systems to work better. And MitoPure is the only supplement clinically proven to rejuvenate health at the cellular level. So right now, Timeline is giving you 10% off your order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/chaos today to get started. That's timeline.com/chaos to get 10% off your order of MitoPure.
You want to tell him? Although I will say,
My fault.
yeah, not Pete's fault.
Yep. My
Did
fault.
I do the wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. So I'll tell you about Bauer.
Okay.
I'll tell you about Bauer.
That wasn't my fault, right?
I
Not
think
really.
it's my fault. Sean puts it in the
There's two sections,
ad section of the doc, and then I put it in the rundown.
Well, shout out to Timeline. That one's on us.
All right. Shout out to Bauer Hockey. Their sales page offers a wide range of discounted products, including skates, sticks, protective gear, and apparel that caters to players of all levels. Somewhere around here, I can see it right over there. I got my M40 stick that is absolutely unbelievable. I am crazy about it. I play around the office. I got the digital reactor dangler. Ooh, thank you, Sean. Look at this stick. This is my favorite.
It's a nice stick you
I
got
just
there.
want to. Can I just? If I do this during an episode, is it too distracting?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah, and also, I'm risking a high stick.
That's true.
Yeah, Pete's shoulders famously are below.
Whose shoulders? Yeah.
Exactly. You can get sticks, skates, protective gear, everything. Consumers can find significant savings on premium hockey equipment known for its quality, durability, and performance. That sales page has seasonal deals, clearance items. You can purchase trusted gear at a reduced price. I'm talking about 30% off the Nexus stick and Easton S17 sticks, up to 40% off select skates, 25% off select helmets, and up to 50% off select apparel and styles. So make sure you go to that Bauer sales page and use code FreeShipWC. We'll hook up the shipping for you. That is Bauer. And Pete, you have noted that Bill Guerin, thank you, Sean, looking like a real bozo because famously Team USA lost in the Four Nations face-off. And where was Tage Thompson while Team USA was getting smoked straight up and down by Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid?
I know exactly where he was. He was getting hot chocolate.
He was making hot chocolate
He's upstairs.
and talking to me, even though I think in that interaction, I don't think Tage Thompson knew what anything was. He didn't understand the coffee machine. He didn't understand me. He didn't understand where the hot chocolate was. I think he probably didn't understand why am I not playing in this game. He had a lot of questions. Well, he's answering them now, Peter.
Yeah, I think that when you look at Tage Thompson, he's had a great year, period. But the splits from when the USA rosters were announced on December 4th, and this was tipped off to me by our friend Dom Leshizian, who said, like, hey, just take a look at the stats since these rosters were announced since December 4th. Jason Robertson, 3rd in goals and 7th in points in the entire NHL. Clayton Keller, 6th in points. Tage Thompson, 7th in goals. And additionally, Cole Caulfield has 10 points in 9 games since the return of the Four Nations break. So what we have here, friends, 4 players spiting off.
Spiting off. And I mean, my reaction is tough time to be a Canadian person because they're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Footsteps.
Olympics. Uh-oh. You hearing that?
The discussion that we might be having like a year from now is like, this could have been the best thing that ever happened to the United States. The fuck Bill Guerin line having a fire lit under their ass heading into the Olympics. Oh, yeah.
Today on What Chaos, best things to happen to the United States. Boston Tea Party, I think, was a big deal. I think Sean thinks we overrate it. Properly rated?
I don't know. Yeah,
right.
maybe. Yeah, probably a little overrated.
I love it for Tage because I need good things to happen. I need there to be good talking points for the Sabres. I said earlier in the show, I wonder if it's worth it for them to just have a few good weeks to end the regular season. Tage this season is like a clear, this went right for them. I forget who put it out. It must have been Jay Fresh. Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin are entering save them territory.
98% war for both of them.
If they're not already there.
Tage is a monster. I mean, I like Tage with Norris too. He's looked pretty good.
Yes, I have liked Tage on the wing a lot.
Yeah.
Early returns so far on that Dylan Cousins trade, we might be looking at a win-win, boys.
Yeah.
I think that, and I want Dylan Cousins to be okay in Ottawa. I want the Senators to be good. More importantly, though, I'll be honest, I want the Sabres to be good. But love to see that those players have responded to the snub. And when you miss out on an all-star American team for a country like America or Canada, it's like, can you really be a snub? Because you're missing out because another incredible player made it.
Not
but in the
this
case
time.
of Tage, the
Okay.
season that he was having this year, it seemed so obvious. And I always kind of thought that they just kind of looked at him and was like, Sabre, loser, can't have him.
I don't know if maybe.
I think that his team was held against him.
Maybe, yeah. But I also think that like his role was held against him.
Yeah, I think it was they wanted actual fourth liners to play the fourth line.
Because
Or
like,
not
Caulfield
actual,
absolutely should have made that team too. But I think it was more like the role, like you're a small, undersized guy who's not particularly built for a bottom six role. But like if he's scoring, you can put him in the top six and then have a better guy slide down to a bottom six role. So
yeah,
I would expect that there will be a reversal of course on the roster selection here for the Olympics. I would expect a number of these guys to be on the team. Like Clayton Keller should be on the team. Tage Thompson should be on the team. Cole Caulfield should be on the team.
if they knew how bad, or I don't want to say necessarily
Jason
bad,
Robertson scares me, I'll be honest.
how
Scares you
ineffective.
good or bad?
Scares me both because he's so streaky.
He's very streaky, but he's the guy, I talk about these players in the playoffs where you get used to playing a team and you think you know what to expect and you see what you've gotten from that team and how you size them up as an opponent. And then you're like, oh, fuck, Jason Robertson scored 2 goals this game. Like, I felt like you almost forget they have that guy, but he's one of the best players on that team. So he scares me more as an opponent than counting on him.
Just for like a short tournament, it scares me just because knowing like if he's not there, he'll be invisible.
Jason Tatum in the Olympics, he showed up and he like wasn't looking so hot the first couple of days, and they were like, all right, we're just not playing Jason Tatum.
That's a pretty good comp.
Yeah. I mean, both of their names are Jason. So
I was gonna say like if you I like the guys that they had in the bottom six, the Trocheks, whatever, like get a lot of shit. But like if they knew that like Kyle Connor was gonna be as ineffective or Jack Hughes was gonna be ineffective, like really would have liked because then at that point you're not having these guys play bottom six roles. You're having them play where they're supposed to, and it's hard for me to imagine that they would perform worse than those guys did.
You wanted to give a minute on Lane Hutson,
whom
we love, but tough moment last night.
My bigger takeaway on it though, like, and if you miss it, Lane Hutson was absolutely cooked off the faceoff draw in overtime in that game against Seattle. And
who was it?
Brandon Montour.
Yeah, it was Brandon Montour.
Brandon Montour scored 4 seconds into the overtime period, which I think ties the record for fastest overtime goal in NHL history. A really tough look for Hutson. But my bigger takeaway is, why do the Canadians line up with three straight forward spots in 3-on-3 overtime when you're winning the draw backwards? Like, and I know they're not the only team to do it, but they're one of the only teams to do it. Seattle did it in that spot. But I asked Petey this question because Petey's way smarter than I am. I was like, why line up three straight forward spots rather than sticking a guy, a defender back if you're going to win the draw backwards? And he was like, I don't know. That's a good question. And he sent me a resource, and I was like, just clicking through it. Most teams in the league, pretty much all of them, except for, from what I saw, the Canadians and the Hurricanes, will put a guy back off the forward lines.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're going to win the faceoff in most cases, you're not just like hitting it ahead to your wing. You're usually drawing it back. And if you get a case like what Montour did, where clearly it was a quote unquote set play, where just like, hey, off the faceoff, just sell out, break for the middle. And if the puck goes the other way, then the Canadians are probably looking at that's at least an odd man rush. But Lane Hutson, man, I felt so bad for him because like he couldn't have known that was coming, but he was well past him, and Lane Hutson was still like lined up for the faceoff.
To be fair, Montour was like over the line before the puck was even dropped, maybe. But I don't really blame Lane Hutson in that situation because he got caught for sure, got caught sleeping. That's a mistake that he probably will never make again. And I would bet that a lot of guys would get cooked in that situation, just not being fully prepared.
Yeah, and like you're flat-footed,
right?
So and one guy is facing the direction in which he's going, and you've got to turn around and go back.
And it's not like he mailed it in on the back check after that happened. He did turn on the jets. It's just like Montour's fast and finished. And so really tough ending to that game for Lane Hutson. Learning moment, teaching moment, whatever you want to call it. My bigger takeaway is like, did the Canadians change the way that they line up in 3-on-3 from now on?
They probably should. We've already had 2 games where when something happens at the end, you're like, and I think Liam McHugh tweeted this about the Red Wings game, where you're like, "Oh, I hope the team doesn't miss the playoff by X amount of points," because the Mason the Lucas Raymond goal buzzer beater type thing. If they miss the playoffs by 2 points, that sucks. If the Canadians miss the playoffs by 1 point, oh boy. But whatever. Lane Hutson's an absolute stud. It happens.
50 points.
50 points. I mean, our season preview, I was like, I'd love to throw him in the Calder race, but I don't know how much he's going to play. What an absolute idiot. That guy's a legend.
Somebody in the chat mentioned Elias Pettersson last night and the fact that Connor Zary is now getting a hearing for the cross-check to Elias Pettersson. But my bigger takeaway on that is Elias Pettersson was really good last night. Maybe the best game that he's played in over a year last night.
Good. I mean, they ended up holding on to him. Shout out Austin, who seemingly is new to all of the people who have joined us this last week, and we have gotten a bunch of new people. We appreciate you. This show does not do hit chat. We do chit chat. So we cannot weigh in on the hit because that is uninteresting conversation. But thank God Pettersson looks like he's starting to turn it around, because the saddest of all of the outcomes is he stays in Vancouver, he stinks, he rots.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that was maybe the first time in a while that I was confident that the Vancouver Canucks best forwards outplayed the other team's best forwards. And it was a great game, unbelievable game between the Canucks and Flames. I said it last night. It did remind me of the scene from the Dark Knight where the Joker breaks the pool stick and is like, we're having tryouts for the final wild card spot in the Western Conference, because those are 2 very imperfect teams, but 2 teams that I like watching and 2 teams that I think are interesting, derogatory.
Did we get the wrong Pettersson there, by the way? Was the hit on a different Pettersson?
Marcus Pettersson gave the hit, and I thought that Zary cross-checked Elias Pettersson, but maybe I was wrong there.
It's tough to keep track.
I know Marcus Pettersson was the one who delivered the big hit.
Well, we're not doing hit chat. We will do beer chat. Brad Marchand made a Sam Adams commercial that was going to be put out before he was traded, but they were like, well, what if he gets traded? Then it's going to be weird. So they held off, and then Brad Marchand got traded anyway. So Sam Adams just put it out yesterday and was like, I guess we'll just go fuck ourselves. Sean, do you have it?
Are you sure about this?
Don't move.
At Sam Adams, we craft every beer with love and attention to detail.
Smash in the green!
And our new Marchand, it's no different. In fact, we brought Brad Marchand in to help on the process.
It's Marchand! Get it right, guy.
Yeah, you like it? Get your get it!
Whoa, guys!
Brad! Yeah, smash that green!
It's sweet and delicate.
Just like me.
Wow.
Get him down, shoot over his head, and then put him down. I'm in your head. You like that? Yes. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Yeah, switch sides, get him there, and then right there.
At the end of the day, Brad made all the difference.
Not a bad commercial.
Very good commercial.
Wouldn't say very good, but I would say not a bad commercial.
Very good commercial.
Sean?
It's not a bad commercial.
Very good commercial.
It's does what it's supposed to. It's very good for this market.
Outstanding performances across the board there.
Let me edit that. That's 12 seconds shorter, and it's a very good commercial. It just had a little fat on it.
All I'm
the
saying is-
trash talk part didn't need to be there.
Okay, that's fine. But I also think there is a credit to Sam Adams. I should be so sick of your cousin from Boston at this point, and I'm just not. I still like that. That guy's hilarious.
I mean, I enjoy it as somebody who lives here and is not from here. It's just a caricature.
Yeah, it's caricature. Very goofy. I'll say Marchand looks amazing in there. He looks strong. He was getting ready to become Panther, maybe.
La Pantera.
He's on the PEDs. He
Best
was
part about
in
it was that
contact with Aaron Ekblad.
Best part about it was they called it the Marshandy, and they acknowledged that we don't know what this guy's name is because from day to day, Brad Marchand does not know what his name is. I think I have ultimately settled on Marchand, knowing that I don't want to fucking hear it if this week he's deciding he's going by Brad Marchand.
I mean, he said it in the commercial. It's Marchand, so.
But dude, you do
gotta be.
That guy has gone back and forth.
Well,
I'm
I'm just saying, like, if you've got a recorded evidence of him saying it one way, can't get upset if that's how people say it.
Right, but the problem is you have recorded evidence from like a year ago of him saying it another way, and it goes back and forth. It is nuts.
Interesting note: I was told that this beer was supposed to be released before the trade deadline.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so Sam Adams was like, "We'll see what happens here." Probably the smart move. Now, like, we wouldn't be showing this if Brad Marchand wasn't traded. We'd be like, "Okay, that's cool. Nice little collab between athlete and beer company, but not really noteworthy." It's noteworthy because of the timing, and now we're talking about it.
Well, it's also noteworthy because it's not the only case of this. Multiple players who have gotten traded at this deadline were actually looped into other stuff. Do you have the upcoming thing for the Bear this season, Sean? Yeah, Seth Jones was supposed to be in the Bear this season.
So fucking stupid.
That's a bummer. And this is really the one that breaks my heart. Henry Jokiharju was Henry Jokiharju. Nope, Sean's saying no.
I didn't. Yeah, just go to the next one.
Was there? Jake Wallman replaced the late Steve from Smash Mouth. He was taking over. They're famously a San Jose band. It's Jake Wallman.
Okay.
I think Pete's mad because I said that wasn't a very good commercial.
No, it's I don't know what I'm supposed to say to Jake Wallman in Smash Mouth.
Henry Jokiharju, there you go, was on Team Cheerio.
How do they compete? How do they match up against Team Oreo?
Exactly. So Team Oreo came out, and then Cheerio was like, let me get on this, and they made that. Henry Jokiharju was supposed to be the face of it. I misspelled Jokiharju there. Apologies to him, but whatever. At least I can pronounce it.
And works on that. Many levels. So did you do that purposefully because of like the City Smells Like Cheerios thing?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why I did the Buffalo thing.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Buffalo, you got traded out.
That is the best thing about Buffalo.
I would agree.
Cheerio factory, the air smells like Cheerios sometimes.
Fucking rocks.
Unbelievable.
Chat saying skill issue on Pete's fault.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but it was a good bit. I did appreciate the bit.
You said this is so stupid, and then you didn't laugh.
Yeah, those are the bits that I want from you.
It can be stupid and a good bit at the same time.
100%.
Yeah.
You usually do laugh at good bits, but
sometimes the bit is so stupid that I can't laugh. But it doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. Plus, we got a show to do today. We got some time to fill.
Yeah, man.
We could
With
spend
silence?
10 more minutes trying to figure out which Elias Pettersson got hit in the hit chat thing, but that doesn't seem interesting. It seems like it was the other defenseman.
yeah, can't
Elias
confirm
Pettersson.
EP40 had nothing to do with it.
Neil says bit chat. Hit chat, bit. Yeah, we do chit chat and we definitely do bit chat. We do not do hit chat. We do, though, and I'm cool making this like the meat of today's show. We do slate grades. Sean, could you please give me today's slate? This is a meaty one. Actually, I'll say this is a light one for a Thursday. Only 9 games, but you fucking tell me
They make them count.
where this thing stank because I'm having trouble finding. I mean, there's two games in particular that I will tell you that I'm just absolutely fucking not watching. Thank you very much, Sean. The Panthers will kick it off in Toronto against the Maple Leafs in an Oliver Ekman-Larsson revenge game. This is also, I think this is a 1 and 2 in the Atlantic playing each other, correct?
Implications.
Okay, so yeah, Sean, you should start putting on the Slate Grade a little. We can make like an I with a circle around it, like the letter I, and then like I emoji implications, or we could just have Glenn Howard, Dennis from It's Always Sunny. The implication.
Oh yes,
yes,
yes. I can start doing.
Yes, this is implications because this is too good. The Maple Leafs trail the Panthers, who are not allowed to cheat anymore, by 2 points, and they have a game in hand. So we're talking a 638 points percentage for the Panthers and a 633 points percentage for the Maple Leafs. I would not rule out, folks, the Maple Leafs catching the Panthers. Don't sleep on my Leafs. That, as I said, is an Oliver Ekman-Larsson revenge game. I love it. How about the Bruins at the Senators? 7 p.m. Eastern. Implications. Bruins, white hot, wearing the white jerseys on the road in Ottawa. This is famously a thank God this one isn't in Boston game because Pete was probably going to buy team tickets. He was going to buy group tickets.
I said that yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that Bruins Senators game, very interesting. How much are the tickets? And then Sean said, for Saturday's game, because this game's in Ottawa. So thank you for saving me some money and probably some disappointments.
Well, if you were to go, you would see a Linus Ullmark revenge game.
That's right.
So far, we are 2 for 2 on implications and revenge games. And then you get the Lightning at the Flyers.
Okay, what else?
So that's a
What
Simon
else do we
Gagne
have?
Bowl. Very interesting. And then you've got the Blues at the Penguins in I mean, we've mentioned his name enough today. That's a Bill Guerin Bowl at 7 p.m.
It's a David Perron Bowl.
Yes. Now back to the good shit. The old shit.
A little quick diversion.
Slate, when are you going to be back to doing the fucking good shit? How about at 7 p.m. when the Golden Knights take on the Blue Jackets? Of course, implications there. The Golden Knights, I think, are fending off the Oilers in the Pacific pretty well. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I think that they will be just fine. The Blue Jackets, meanwhile, need the points. They're coming off that loss on Tuesday to the Devils. Let's go Blue Jackets at home at 7 p.m. in a Blue Jackets Golden Knights. What do you think?
Jonathan Marchessault Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I went right to William Karlsson.
Okay.
William Karlsson.
Am
And then there are those pesky Devils sticking their nose into interesting games. Implications for them, 7:30 p.m. They will host the Oilers. Oh, my fucking God. Am I seeing that correctly, Sean?
You are seeing that correctly.
Fucking ESPN.
ESPN Plus? Yeah, okay.
I think that I got to start doing I think I'm going to do an illegal stream because we missed the Gene table jump.
Oh man, you're potentially getting Gene dressed up as the devil tonight.
Very true.
Fucking, I almost said a word that
Evil Gene
that I'll say we don't say anymore, but sometimes when I'm particularly mad, but we don't say it on the show.
Here's a question. What are we I'm efforting
okay.
something. What do we consider having implications?
Like, are you saying?
Like, does Oilers Devils have implications?
Sure does. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does. It's
Just
like
because they're
trying to hold on to spots
Okay.
and make moves. Like more so the Devils here. I think like you're tuning in to see the implications, like if they're falling off.
Okay.
Should there be another one though that is like if these two teams directly impact each other,
Like the 4
like if
point
there's a
games.
4-point game. I love me a 4-point game. Yeah, maybe you could do a little 4-point, like Steph Curry hitting like a super deep shot. Yeah, maybe put Steph on.
I do
there.
Caitlin Clark,
Like last night.
Oh, Caitlin Clark.
Like last night's
Hockey is for everyone, including basketball
Canucks
players.
Flames game was like that felt like a playoff game last night because they directly impacted each other.
Senators Red Wings on Monday. Definitely.
Nice, Sean. That is great, quick work.
Oh, that's so fucking good. You are the
Did I
Sean
hit all the games with implications? I would say it's those 5, right?
No.
Caps Kings.
Caps Kings.
Oh, yeah. I guess the Kings are.
Oh, now now you've opened it up because all right. So
Sean's having
Oilers,
a week, I'll say this.
Oilers Devils. I am saying that is an Adam Henrique game. Adam Henrique Bowl. It's obviously a Taylor Hall Bowl as well. Rangers at Wild at 8 p.m. In
Keep on.
in a Stephen Camphor Bowl. Also, because he's there now, how about a Carson Soucy Bowl?
Okay.
People forget that Carson Soucy played for the Wild, or they just don't care about Carson Soucy or the Wild.
He's probably the latter.
Okay. 10:30 p.m. That's right. A jump from 8 to 10:30 p.m. The weirdest structure in the world. Capitals at Kings in a Pierre-Luc Dubois revenge game.
Hell yeah,
That's
baby.
what seals this. That's like when I was looking at this, I was liking what I saw. I was like putting on the glasses, making sure I don't even wear glasses. I was like making sure. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Well, Carson Soucy Bowl.
I do want to push back. I don't think this has implications. The Kings are 6 points ahead of the next team in their division. Like, I think they're pretty, and that team is the Flames.
And the Kings have a game in hand on that team. So I think I
think
It
the
has,
Kings are probably going to make the
President's
playoffs.
Trophy implications.
I don't think that. I don't think
put
that.
George W. Bush.
I think this.
What did you say?
With George W. Bush.
Okay.
Famously is your favorite president.
No, we know that's not true.
Yeah, right.
Or you can put Donald Trump, but do the, you know what Trump thing I've been doing a lot recently? It's not good behavior, but I've really been doing the, when like an old white woman like goes up to Donald Trump and is like, God bless you. And he makes this like unbelievably fake face. Sean, you can come back to me. I don't know if I do it well, but like he does like the, like,
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
like-
Yeah, that was pretty spot on.
like that.
Mhm.
I've been doing that a lot recently. When someone says something nice to me, I go,
It's
And
like
they
bless
know
your
I'm-
heart of like a visual version of bless your heart.
I'm such a sweet man.
I do
fucking
not think
weird.
we can get too loose with the implication thing. I think it's got to be a wild card, like actual make or not make the playoffs.
I mean, I do like the idea of turning the implication into a bit that was just like any sort of interest in watching the game. It has
there any-
implication.
Yeah.
Chat's pointed out like it has Ovi implications.
Yeah.
So
And I'll say, how about when I put the slates, when I'm taking my notes, I'll send to you, Sean, like, hey, put this on there. Put like Trump on this game or whatever. And then it can kind of be like the beginning where Pete's like, why is
I can guess why there are
why is
implications.
Justin Timberlake on that one? It's
Yeah,
like,
I like
because
this,
it's
yeah.
whatever.
The slate is about to get fucking insane.
I don't know how much I
All
like that.
show
But
planning now is going to go into the slate grade. How do we like that? Capitals at Kings, 10:30 p.m. That's just a good ass game.
It's a good tuck.
yeah,
And it's a Pierre-Luc Dubois revenge game. Amazing. And then I'm calling this one the tuck just because it's listed last.
it's a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
I mean, both come to tuck you.
Yes. Blackhawks at Sharks. So good. Blackhawks at Sharks. What did I have? Is that? Oh, that's a Jeremy Roenick bowl.
Mhm.
But man, this is an A. This is like just for 7 p.m. alone. Like Panthers, Maple Leafs, Bruins, Senators, Golden Knights, Blue Jackets. That in and of itself is good enough. And then on top of it, you got Oilers at Devils, Capitals at Kings. And yeah, if you want to do Rangers and Wild, you can. But Blackhawks Sharks is such a good love of the game thing to sprinkle in when we're looking at implications.
Lottery implications.
And horrible presidents. Oh yeah, it is true. There is a lot of. Is there? Let's see.
Oh yeah. You have
I
to
don't
look it
think
up?
so. They cannot be close.
It's 49-43 points wise. Chicago
And
has a
4
game
point
in hand.
game.
And let's see. This
Chicago
is,
has a game in hand too. So
Yeah, the Blackhawks have a game in hand. There is, if the Blackhawks, who by the way are kind of leaning a bit into how happy they are these days, if the Blackhawks end up sinking past the Sharks, then it's relegation time.
the Blackhawks I think are pretty firmly in just win all your games because they can't really catch anybody in at 30th, and they are a little too far ahead of the Sharks to drop to 32nd. So just win.
Oh, can I say maybe this is such a weird structure? Is it possible that this time of year they go from 8 to 10:30 because they assume that 9 p.m. people are doing Severance?
I don't think that's it.
I think they throw Severance in there. Maybe it could be. Okay, that's an A for a slate though.
That's an A slate.
I feel very good and very confident in that. Oh, a Ryan Donato Bowl. Somebody noted for that game.
We got a super chat that said Pierre-Luc Dubois.
It's a Pierre-Luc Duel revenge game. And Stan, of course, noting the implication from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This has been a great week of shows, boys. I'm excited to keep watching the hockey tonight.
Me too.
Real quick, how did you feel about the jersey situation in Sabres Detroit last night?
Oh,
crazy.
Thank you for bringing that
Crazy.
up. I thought it was excellent, and I don't want it all the time, but I want shit like that every now and then.
It was the most insane. First off, those Detroit uniforms do not play inside.
I
disagree.
The helmets.
The helmets do not
are
look
crazy,
good inside
yeah.
at all.
So what Pete is, what Sean is talking about is that the Red Wings at home wore their Stadium Series jerseys,
Yes.
which are famously white, and the Sabres
the
could
visiting
have
Buffalo
worn.
Sabres, yep.
What's that?
I said the visiting Buffalo
Yeah,
Sabres.
the visiting Buffalo Sabres could have, of course, worn blue, and it would have been dark against white. But instead, they were like, "You're wearing a kind of crazy thing. We're doing goat heads." I thought that was awesome, and it gave it a black and red versus a red and white, aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it created a little bit of discourse in amongst people on Twitter. Fine as a one-off. Never want to see that again. It was terrible. But we just need more white jerseys at home. And also, why is it a CBA thing? I've seen people say that hope they change that in the CBA.
It's not, because I don't think it is, because
Doesn't
there
the
have
team just
been
get to
random
choose?
teams that have worn white at home.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know.
Like
but
the Jets have done it this year. I want to say the Ottawa Senators did it at one point this year. Like, there have been a number of teams that have just worn white at home on a random game this year. So I don't think it's a CBA thing, and it shouldn't be a CBA thing. What I think it should be up to the individual teams.
Yeah,
If
the home
if
team should
there's
get
a
to decide.
team
That's what
that
baseball
wants
does.
to make white at home their thing, and everybody else is still doing their regular colored jerseys at home, absolutely go for that. I think that's cool.
But I think there should be one team that does that, kind of like how the Sabres do both anthems. Like, it should be.
Who would you pick?
I don't want to lose track of it.
Who would you pick?
I think the Red Wings are.
I would
Red
love
Wings.
for the Red Wings to wear
Red
white
Wings
at
should
home.
be the team.
But
Yeah.
I think that I disagree that it should only be one team. I think there's a handful of teams that it would play really well for. I think the Sabres are one of those teams.
No.
Yeah, the white goat or not goat heads, the white Sabre jerseys I think would play well at home. But ultimately, my bigger reaction to this is there's no reason we shouldn't have more primary color on primary color matchups. I know that's not like an original take necessarily, but we should have when the Sabres play the Red Wings, it should just be red versus blue.
The only problem that you run into there is potential colorblind insensitivity. Because I remember when the NFL did Color Rush.
Yeah, it was Bills Jets.
Yeah, and
green
it was
versus.
okay, this is gray versus gray. For
That's
some
fair.
colorblind
Yeah, I mean,
people.
I guess you got to keep that in consideration. But if it works, you should do color versus color.
Pete not having a great stretch per the chat. They noted that Pete says he's in favor of more white, and then somebody said Pete said colored.
Jesus Christ.
After yesterday, you said race in quotes, and What Chaos Meme sent me a mashup of things you said during that episode, and strung all together, let's just say Sean and I would distance ourselves from that clip. But
I'm going to take the next 3 to 4 days off to reflect.
yes, reflect and grow.
Change your profile picture, just a black square. That'll fix it.
That'll do it. That ought to fix it.
Dude, I shouldn't open this can of worms, but
Oh, boy.
No,
Sean, end the show.
no. The Black Square Week was just like the worst of humanity, because people who did it got dunked on by people who were like, I'm not doing anything, but you're not fixing anything. And the people who did it were like, I know, but it's like a gesture or whatever. And I don't know, and then the people who did not do the Black Square were so fucking mad at the people who did the Black Square. It was.
I did not do a black square. Don't feel like I need to.
That's the thing. Like, I'll say I did it, and I saw people that were like, "Oh, you think you're fixing anything by doing that?" And I'm like, "No, it's just like a little fucking." It took me 2 seconds to throw up there. It's just a little reminder of hey, while we're doing fucking anti-racism toilet paper commercials, throw out there but let's not be racist. That's all.
Everyone's brains got broken a little bit at that time.
Yeah,
All I'll say is I didn't get upset at people who did it, but I definitely looked at it
Thanks for your support.
yeah, you're like, thanks for your service.
Nice one.
You're really in the
Thanks, you
trenches.
hero.
Really in the trenches with us. I appreciate it.
Well, did people make their profiles that? Because then it's tough. Because like then when you take it off, kind of like when the NFL
Time out on hate.
when the NFL removed
And
and
racism.
racism, and you're like, you kind of that one's got to be a tattoo. Like if you're going to put that on your body, you can't remove that because of the implication.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's the thought was in the right place, I guess, with the squares, not the removing end racism.
Okay, folks. Thank you very much for sticking with us this week. We love you. We have a lot of amazing stuff coming next week, but I don't know. Maybe we'll cut in and do some emergency. The Bruins have won 5 games in a row things at some point.
Yeah, I think that'll all happen for sure. They have an opportunity to win 3 straight for the first time this season. Very excited. Ottawa Senators, you're next, pal. Before you get out of here, please hit that like button right below the video player. It is the thumbs up button. We would love your like. And we would also love your subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that. We got the playoffs coming up, and we're going to be hammering content during the playoffs and leading up to it. So stick around. Hang with us. We appreciate you being here. I'm going to take some time to reflect, think about my choices, and in about 3 or 4 days, I will end the timeout on hate, and I will resume hating on Monday.
Keep a lookout for a notes screenshot tweet from Pete.
We're going to cook up the best notes apology you've ever seen in your life.
I do have to note that there's a clip of us that is going super mega viral in which we discuss the Bruins being back and Pete and I being very gung-ho. Petey coming on, doing some weird little song and dance about how the Bruins aren't going to go 13-3. And I did not realize in real time until I went to edit that clip that Sean said, like, yeah, Petey, fuck these guys. That you were just biting your tongue the whole time we were doing any sort of like, the Bruins are going to be okay. The clip ending on Sean saying, fuck these guys is ultimate Sean-tent.
I can say in all honesty, I do not remember if in the moment I was saying fuck these guys as in fuck DJ and Pete or fuck the Boston Bruins. Might have been a little bit of both. But yeah, fuck these guys.
That's the thing. Sean's got a shock on when it comes to his hating. It's got a bit of a spread. So you don't necessarily know where the aim was, but you know that it was a strong
Anybody
blast.
can get it.
Anybody can get it.
Yes,
I do want
man.
to mention very funny thing that happened this week. Milan Lucic commented on the JVR Bin Laden game reel.
Yeah,
he was like, did. Best crowd I've been to like in my career. And I was like, nice. People remember the Bin Laden game.
That game was incredible, and I guess it's easy to forget. I say never forget. That's just where I stand on such things.
The Alamo.
But I love that a guy that was on the Bruins was probably on the ice for the game-winning goal. He played on Krejci's line. That was like, oh yeah, man. That night, insane. I was sitting with Matt Kalman, and Cam Neely was sitting near us in the press box, and he was shrieking.
Who?
Cam Neely.
Oh, okay.
He was like when Krejci scored in overtime, it was reviewed, but he was like, yeah, that's a goal. And we were like, holy fuck, is that Cam Neely? And like Cam Neely was so fucking into it. And then they review, Bruins win the game. I think, Chris Kelly still was doing the mask because I think it was Scott Gomez had fucked up his face. Good times. The Bin Laden game, folks. I go on for days.
You should kill Bin Laden again to get the Bruins on a run.
Would you, if you could go back and kill baby Bin Laden, would you not do it?
So that we could get the
because you want the Bin Laden game?
Oh, God.
No, that is not a fucking question, Pete.
I don't know. You seem to love the Bin Laden game more than anybody.
That is, okay.
That would be a question for JVR. Would you kill baby Bin Laden if it means that you take away your Bin Laden game?
I mean, the obvious answer is
no.
Whatever gets Bin Laden out of the picture as soon as possible. And who's to say that in a past life, when baby Bin Laden was killed, JVR, if you believe in reincarnation, wouldn't have done some wild shit the next day. Maybe maybe JVR was like a tree, and maybe after baby Bin Laden was killed, JVR like sprouted way up, and they were like, "Oh shit, never seen a tree grow like that."
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know, but all I can think about is I cannot wait to put down "Kill Baby Bin Laden" on the show rundown that hits Instagram stories.
No, just baby Bin Laden. Okay, folks, Talk to you next
See
week.
you
Bye.
Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.